Alright guys, welcome to part 54 of Let's Play Knights of the Old Republic. We are now into the temple exterior.
Oh, that is what the Jedi can do.
Apparently fighting all kinds of wild rankers. Oh wow, that field looks trippy. They're significantly easier than I would have thought. We got Gizka wandering around too. Yeah, it looks like they're not leaving remains. Invisible Mandalorians. That's probably the pillar. Yep. They did not put up much of a fight. So I can go back. Oh, this is different than the way we came. So we will need to return here. Almost certainly. Speed up our movement a little bit. North Beach. You returned. Have you managed to slay the aliens who massacred my warriors? They're dead. Here's the leader's head. Thank you for what you have done. The souls of my warriors can rest at peace now. And with his head, I can gain his strength so that we may overcome his people in the future. And now for the reward I promised. I found these while searching among the wreckage. I don't know what they do, but I hid them here quite some time ago. They are yours now. Thermal shield generator. There's some pretty good salvage in that. Oh, it actually negates fire damage.
What?
Yeah, we can go back to the Ebon Hawk for about a brief moment. And then I can hone my lightsabers to some degree. I should have done that earlier, but I just kind of forgot. Opila. Furkran. Solari. Genrux. Opila is just a little bit stronger. Yeah, it's pretty much just Sigil. So we've got Sigil in that. We've got another Opila, so I can basically create equal power lightsabers now. Sigil and I believe it was Genrux, which was the next most powerful. Luxum, Furkran, Bondar, yeah. We'll go double violet. I'll make some change here at the end. Alright. So we need to head down here to the temple entrance. This is probably where we acquire the salvage. Yikes. The disabler is not the best, because sometimes you can just walk right in even as you... So we got the ship parts. Johnny just crushed that one. You are not Rakata. What is your business here, Outworlder? Who are you? We are the elders, and you will answer our question. Who are you, and why have you come? I am Revan. You are Revan. The council wishes to speak with you. You may enter. Oh boy. We of the Elder Council did not expect to see you again, Revan. We thought you had betrayed us. Why have you returned to our village after all this time? I spoke to you once before. What did I want? Is this some type of test, Revan? Some type of trick? You came seeking our aid. You came in search of a way to enter the Temple of the Ancients. You claimed to be seeking a way to destroy the Starforge, and we were foolish enough to believe you. Unaware of your true nature, we helped you enter the temple. But you betrayed us, Revan. Instead of destroying the terrible legacy of our ancestors, you unleashed the evil of the Starforge upon an unsuspecting galaxy. Now you stand before the Council of Elders once more, and once more we ask you, for what reason have you returned, Revan? I need to get into the temple so I can destroy the Star Forge. Do you think we are fools, Revan? Do you think we have forgotten how you lied to us last time? Why should we believe you now? The man was destroyed. All my memories were lost. It changed me. I am not who I once was. They say that the experiences of our past define us and make us what we are. If it is true you have lost your memories, then perhaps you are changed. But how are we to know this is not some trick, Revan? Pardon me, that was Revan is dead. Now I am Brianna Bordeaux. You say you are not who you once were, yet here on our world you repeat the pattern of your last visit. Like the last time you have crashed here. Like last time you have come seeking our help. How have you changed, Revan? The one wanted me to kill you, but I have come here peacefully. Again, you're only repeating the patterns from before. You know we hold the secret of entering the temple. That is why you do not attack us. You come here in the guise of a friend. But how do we know you are not going to betray us again? Can I prove what is in my heart? I only ask you judge me by my actions. We sense you mean the words you speak, but words are easy to say. It is actions that prove the true nature of your character. Just prove to us that you are not the same as you once were, Revan. You must prove that you have changed. How can I prove that? Recently, several of our scouts were captured by the One. Most of them were brutally slaughtered, but we have information that one of the scouts is still alive. They'll use unimaginable tortures to force the scout to reveal everything he knows about our tribe. Once the One is done with them, the scout will be executed like the others. You must prove you have truly changed by risking your own life to save another. Rescue our scout from the clutches of the One, and we will consider helping you. So you want me to go there and kill the One? We would prefer if you could find some way to save the prisoner without bloodshed. But we don't believe that will be possible. The One does not like to negotiate. So if I save the prisoner, you'll help me? Risking your life to save the prisoner will show us that you are sincere about making amends for the past. I'll be back after I rescue the prisoner. The prisoner is being held in the chamber of the One himself. Return to us once he is free. Until then, you have a free run of our Enclave. Elder Researcher. I'll be right back. Back after a quick pause. You returned at last, Revan. I was beginning to wonder what had happened to you in the temple. What you doing? What am I doing? You mean the purpose of my research here? Yeah, what is your research? As you may have heard from our historians, in our distant past we melded technology and the Force to create truly wondrous effects. We guided ships across the galaxy using our power and incorporated its use into all aspects of our society. But something happened somewhere. What happened? A variety of theories on what happened. Perhaps we became immune to the effects of the Force from overuse. Perhaps our breeding habits rendered our species insensitive to it over time. None truly know. The only discernible result was that we could no longer command the Force as we had. Its power had escaped us. With its loss, our technologies could no longer hold us as far above the subjugated races we ruled, and our empire began to crumble. The races we subjugated rose up, plagues swept across our world. We could do nothing against all these calamities. In the end, only the members of our race left here on our home world survived. So what is your research done? Every once in a while there is an individual born who has affinity with the Force. Not only the ability to use it directly, but at least the ability to remain open to it. I believe this is a sign that whatever genes our species had that gave us the ability to use the Force are not completely gone. Perhaps when the ancestors of the current tribes fled beneath the surface, some retained this trait. We're working for years to isolate this gene in an attempt to resurrect it in our species as well. Maybe the elders do not have Force sensitivity ourselves. By harnessing the genetic structure of other tribes, we hope to be able to breed the gene back into our species. Why don't you just ask them for help? You make us seem like monsters. Truly, we are not. We capture them, yes, but only because the tribes have become extremely xenophobic in their millennia trapped on this world. They would not aid us willingly and killed our messengers when we asked. We believe that if we get a large enough genetic sample, we can reintroduce the recessive Force-sensitive genes back into our people, allowing us to once again access the heritage of our past. You're trying to restore your empire, aren't you? No, we do not want to fall down the path that so twisted our people before. This time perhaps we can redeem ourselves in the eyes of the galaxy and become a force of good. How close are you to finishing your research? We're quite far along, having had centuries to work already. With the arrival of another tribe on our island, we have been restricted in our movements to just our enclave. We have captured a few of their warriors, but the one that really interests us is their leader, the One. The One, what's special about him? Those with the genes we seek seem to be marked with a destiny that causes them to rise above others as we did as a species early on. Hearing the stories his warriors tell of the One, we believe he may hold some of the genes we seek. He may be nearing Force sensitivity. Unfortunately, he and his people are much too aggressive and violent for us to ever get close enough to study him. His corpse would not do either, as only a living, working body is of use to us. Maybe in time, though, the differences between our people will lessen enough that we may study one another and gain the information we need. How can I help? If only we had access to the knowledge of our ancestors, they must have known much, much more than us. They had a much greater population sample to work with. Believe that in the temple there may be the information we seek. Perhaps in old archives or scrolls, maybe even in an ancient computer if any is still functioning. The information would help us greatly in our work, and we'd be very grateful to you for it. Is there anything else I can help you with? You mean the temple? The temple can only be entered by those sensitive to the force, so it's barred to us for ages. What we may find inside will allow us to lift the other tribes out of the barbarism into which they have fallen, and restore us as a productive force in the galaxy. I don't know how the Republic and the Sith would see you. That is a worry, but we hope that our good intentions will let them accept us. This time, perhaps we can redeem ourselves in the eyes of the galaxy and become a force of good. Genetic data drifts and changes over the many millennia. We've been here, specific data on exceptional individuals. It is ancient, that we know, and it is guarded by the advanced technology that only force-sensitive races can penetrate. Recently, we've seen ships coming and going from it, similar in design to the ones that came by at about the same time you did many years ago. Other than that, we do not know, although we would dearly like to find out. Is there anything else? No, I have to go now. This enclave looks very similar to the one we were in. I don't think, yeah, they don't have any. Elder droids. Yay, more stuff. This is definitely going to take longer than I expected, though. Hey, if you really want, you can blow by this stuff and just kind of do what you need to do. But I'm trying to allow the plot to be taken in as much as possible. I believe that's the way out. Nice water effects. Just this one wicker bin, I guess. And we can, I guess, use the computer. User verification. User species non-Rakata. Access to auxiliary archives is restricted to Rakata or approved servants. Slaves may not access the archives. I do serve the Rakata. How else would I learn the language? Logical. User speaks the language of the Rakata in order to serve them. User added to authorized list of non-Rakata. Notice, further information can be obtained from the main archives within the Temple of the Ancients. Downloading codes to bypass exterior energy-filled surrounding temple. My archives are ready for information retrieval and download into remote datapad storage. Please select a topic. Looking for the secrets of the ancient Rakata. Searching, retrieving information. The secrets are locked within the Temple of the Ancients. The elders sealed this information away to prevent the technology from falling into the wrong hands. How can I get into the temple? Retrieving information. Shields constructed by the elders to guard the temple are controlled from the summit of the structure. Anyone inside the temple may temporarily shut down the shields. There's only one way to gain access to the temple from the outside. The shields are designed to lure in response to a ritualistic chant detailed in the ancient text called by the Keeper of History. Protect the secrets within the temple. The chant will only work if spoken by the Rakata. No other species can create the proper intonations that will trigger shield deactivation. Searching error. No information on Starforge detected. Information may be recorded in the databanks within the Temple of the Ancients. Want to know about the history of the Rakata? At its peak, the infinite empire of the Rakata ruled over 500 planets and was comprised of 10 billion Rakata and over 1 trillion slaves scattered across the galaxy. Over time, the empire grew weak and corrupt and turned against itself. Civil war, slave rebellions, and a great plague spread throughout the galaxy. 10 billion seems small for controlling 500 planets. A plague? Its origins were unknown, perhaps the creation of an enslaved species, perhaps a mutation of a natural virus. It killed only Rakata, and spread to every corner of the galaxy. The Infinite Empire crumbled into dust as the Rakata survivors fled back here to their homeworld, isolated and hidden from the rest of the galaxy. Even hidden here on this forgotten planet, they were not safe. Millions died from the deadly plague. Many more died in the never-ending civil war. The history of the Infinite Empire ended 20,000 years ago. Now the Rakata are nothing but a few scattered primitive tribes battling for dominance and control. Tell me about the elders. The elders are descended from the Rakata priest caste. Or caste. Caste. When the Infinite Empire collapsed, the elders isolated themselves on this island, far away from the rest of Rakata society. The elders hid the secret technology of the ancients within the temple, fearing it could be used to bring about the extinction of the Rakata species. Deprived of the knowledge of the ancients, the other Rakata degenerated into primitive tribes engaged in constant warfare. Only the elders have preserved the true history of this world. The temple is a sacred place of ancient secrets. All dark mysteries of the Rakata are housed within its stone walls, which pulse with the living power of the ancients. Only those who can command the Force can enter the temple. None among the Rakata still have this ability, though the elders are seeking to breed a Force-sensitive being. How do I shut off the disruptor field around the planet? The disruptor field is controlled by a generator within the Temple of the Ancients. Once inside the temple, the disruptor field and the energy barrier around the temple can both be deactivated. I think that's it. Please return should you require further information contained in the auxiliary archives. Greetings once again, Revan. I am glad that you have returned. I couldn't believe that you had betrayed us, despite what the Council had said. Who are you? My name is Orsa. I am the Keeper of History for the Elders. The last time you were here, you had many questions for me. Council told us all of the destruction of your memories, but still I'd hoped you might recall something of our past discussion. Look on the bright side, we can have all those discussions again. Yes, I suppose that is true. As you can imagine, I have few opportunities to share my knowledge with those outside our enclave. I do have a few questions for you. Yes, of course. Although you must forgive me as some of this starts to seem familiar. After all, we did go into the history of the Rakata at some length the last time you were here. I'll do my best to enlighten you with the knowledge I hold. What subject do you wish to learn about? Tell me about the beginnings of the Rakata Empire. Long ago, we Rakata were a great spacefaring people. Our ships combined technology and the power of the Force, and we were able to pilot them to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. Everywhere we went, we found civilizations less advanced and weaker than our own, but instead of helping them advance, we conquered and enslaved them. Back then, we could still command the Force. That combined with our advanced technology made our march of conquest irresistible. Soon the Infinite Empire stretched across the entire galaxy. Over time, we lost our ability to use the Force. Some believe we had used the Force for so long that we evolved biologically and became immune to its effects. In any case, we lost our sensitivity to the Force and our empire began to fracture. We had to revert to more conventional space travel using inferior technology. Our ultimate collapse was inevitable. How did you collapse? Long ago, the Rakata ruled all the known galaxy. All the species bowed down to us, but we were a corrupt people. And in our fall from glory, there are terrible lessons that must be learned. The Infinite Empire was built on slaughter. It was inevitable that it should collapse upon itself. War, plague, and slave rebellion forced us to retreat back here to our hidden homeworld. Here, conflict among power-hungry warlords escalated into full civil war. Total weapons of mass destruction were unleashed, driving most of the Rakata far beneath the earth for shelter. The devastation ravaged the world. Our people were scattered, our cities leveled, our very existence all but erased. The glory of the Infinite Empire is now nothing but dust and bones. In the past few thousand years, small bands of Rakata have begun to return to the surface. But they are primitive and superstitious creatures. Only we elders remember anything of the true past. I want to ask you about something else. Tell me about the tribe of elders. We elders are descendants of the holy priest caste of the Infinite Empire, survivors of terrible weapons unleashed by the warlords during the final collapse of our empire. Inside the Temple of the Ancients, our ancestors were saved from the devastation that forced the other Rakata to flee underground. We emerged from the temple to find an empty and ruined hut. At last we understood the terrible power of our own technology. To ensure it could never be unleashed upon us again, we sealed the ancient knowledge within the temple. Empty and ruined land. I wanted to correct that. I said huts, I think. Do you know how to disable the disruptor field that caused my ship to crash? The disruptor field is one of the ancient defenses of the Starforge. The great generator within the Temple of the Ancient fuels it. You have to enter the temple to disable it. I want to ask you something else. What do you know about the other Rakata tribes? Many centuries ago, the other Rakata began to emerge from the underground warrens where they had sought shelter from the devastation of the warlords. But these Rakata were as violent as the warlords that had fled many millennia ago. After centuries of battle and bloodshed, the tribe of the One has emerged as the strongest of them all. Now the One, lured by half-remembered legends of his people, lusts to possess the terrible power locked inside the temple. We can never allow that to happen. Can't you just use your technology to destroy him? You have the technology to destroy the One and his followers, but if we kill them all, then we will only prove that we have learned nothing over the past 20,000 years. We tried to negotiate with them. We want emissaries under a flag of truce when the One first arrived on this island. But all our envoys were brutally slaughtered. The One is mad with power. We choose not to fight him. So the only course of action is to stay here in isolation where we are safe. This we have done for the past 20,000 years. Thanks for the information. I guess I can kill you now. That's comically evil. We're not going to do that. What do you know about the Temple of the Ancients? The temple is a sacred place of terrible secrets. All the dark mysteries of the Rakata are housed within its stone walls, which pulse with the living power of the ancients. Only those who can command this power, what you call the Force, can enter the temple. Many centuries ago, there were so few among us who could pass within its walls. Living in the shadow of the temple, we became desensitized to this power. As you yourself said the last time you were here, we elders are no longer force sensitive. Can any of the Rakata enter the temple? None of the Rakata can control the Force now. Long ago there were those who could pass through the barrier. Our ancestors created the energy shield around the building as a second line of defense. But the energy shield was created using the technology within the temple itself. Once we helped you and Malik get past the barrier, you discovered a way to lower the shields at will from within the temple itself. After this, you have no further need of us. The once hallowed ground of the temple is now overrun with the followers of Malik, who can command the Force, those you call the Dark Jedi. Do not disable the disruptor field. The disruptor field is one of the ancient defenses of the Starforge. A great generator within the Temple of the Ancients fuels it. You'll have to enter the temple to disable it. I think I did ask that before. Can you tell me about the Starforge? Much of our knowledge of the Starforge is lost. It was built during the height of the Infinite Empire long ago. All we know now is that it casts a terrible shadow across our world. We elders have longed to destroy the Starforge for many generations, cleanse ourselves of its evil presence, but we have neither the knowledge nor the capability. When you and Malik last came here, we saw you as saviors. We let you into the temple so you could destroy the Starforge, but instead you harnessed its dark power for yourselves. You awakened a dormant evil. Your fleet helped spread the corruption of the Starforge throughout the galaxy. Now you return as our last hope to stop what you once started. I have to go now. Yes, of course. You have much to do and little enough time to do it. But if you ever have any questions for me, I will be happy to try and answer them. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and leave the compound, and then we're going to leave our streaming session there. I need to return to the One's Enclave and decide how I'm going to approach that problem. It's very possible I can use the Elder Warriors against Malik's followers. Yes, Reverend, is there something you need? You must gather your party before venturing forth. And now we can venture forth. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already done so, well, feel free to hit the follow button one time. Or sub, like, and share if you are on YouTube. Take care, guys. Have a great one. We will see you again next time. Till then, later on, guys.